Hello, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Sports Central. Hank Long along with Neil Duncan. And
yes, sir.
We're going to have a great show, a lot of exciting guests today, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And this segment is brought to us by
Best Western Auburndale, Best Western Plus in Auburndale. Excuse me. They've got that lofty title there. Great facility, of course, just down the road from the Lake Myrtle Sports Complex. So great partners of tourism and sports marketing.
Yeah, glad to have them join us on the show. Well, we have a great first segment. We have Ronnie Wood joining us, the Executive Director of the Haines City Main Street, and glad to have you with us, Ronnie.
Well, I'm delighted to be here, and you first said exciting, so I feel like I should do a dog and pony or tap dance show right now.
Yeah, you've got to get things going.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, my little tap dance.
Yeah,
Darn, I left my tap shoes. But I do have some exciting things to tell you about a great race that's coming up.
A great event coming up in Haines City, so we're just going to let you take it away with that and tell us all about it.
Well, good. Well, it's the second annual Margarita Run, and it's Saturday, September 18th. The really cool thing about this, it's in the evening. And as our poster says, it's so hot it's cool. And it starts at 5 o'clock, and you can either join us as a 5K runner or a 1 mile walk. And at the end of the race, guess what?
There's
margaritas. and you know,
this could really inspire my new running career.
Yeah. Running? Well, she said you can walk. If you can walk for a mile and get a margarita.
Yeah, you could.
What's the date on this?
Neil's walked a lot farther than a mile for a margarita.
Yeah,
so.
haven't we all? September 8th.
September 8th, and what time does it start?
Starts at 5. Registration at 4.
Okay, how do they register for the event?
Well, they can go on our website, which is HainesCityMainStreet.com, and then just follow the Margarita Run logos, or you can also go on active.com and put in Margarita Run.
Of course, if you're a runner, you know about active.com.
Absolutely.
And what are there different divisions? I know it's a Margarita Run, but is there a run for kids as well?
Absolutely. Kids are very much encouraged to attend, and we have awards in 3 different categories for the children and then 3 different categories for the adults. And last year we had several children and families that participated. We had mothers with strollers. It's a great family event.
Great.
Wow. And where are they running in through Haines
It's
City?
all of downtown. So what they need to do is to come to the downtown. We'll have lots of signage, but they go to the Railroad Park in downtown, which is right across the street from the newly constructed City Hall and Library. So we're going to show off downtown, and we're going to have all the participants who haven't been to Haines City. You know, it's a little more challenging than the flatlands of Lakeland or Bartow. It's hilly. And a lot of our participants last year came in and went, didn't realize, the hills.
Yeah, and that
so
part of downtown.
You might have to give me 2 margaritas after walking a mile.
Yeah,
because
on
it's
the
kind
rocks.
so you haven't made it to where you're running downhill the whole time? Is that what you're
No,
telling
you're
us?
not. You're running up and down the entire time.
Geez, maybe we don't want to do this.
They've really done a nice job in that area, though. With
Isn't it looking great?
With the new construction going on, and with the library being down there, is that what they moved down?
They're moving City Hall as well as the library downtown, and it's just going to be such a metamorphosis to our downtown. We're so excited.
Because it's going to get people down, and that unique part of downtown Haines City is beautiful with the older buildings and just my doctor and my lawyer are both right down in that part
I'm thrilled to hear that.
of downtown
I'm
Haines
sure
City.
your doctor's thrilled to hear that your lawyer's right down the street.
Well, but
the library alone
beautiful
brings in an
building.
average of 8,000 people a month.
Wow.
Can you imagine what that's going to bring to our downtown? That's really cool.
Well, obviously,
That's
Lake Eva was the kind of the kickoff to what if you haven't been to Lake Eva Park in Haines City, it's unbelievable.
It is.
And there's something for everyone. But the Lake Eva Park kind of started this whole revitalization of the downtown Haines City area. And now tell us a little bit how Ironman drew interest and people to the downtown that maybe didn't know about it.
Well, you know, there were, I think, over 10,000 people that came up for that Ironman weekend, and there were a lot of people that, and they didn't know me from Adam, but they would come up to me and say, hey, where's a great place to eat? You know, we would direct them downtown to some of the great restaurants. And next year, when the next Ironman comes around, we hope to have even more restaurants in our downtown.
Yeah, because this was the first year of a 5-year agreement
Absolutely.
that we have with Ironman. Of course, a partnership between tourism and sports marketing, City of Haines City, and a lot of other partners that came on.
It's a great partnership.
Absolutely.
Well, and one of the neat things that we've done in this partnership is that we've provided signage for the bike path, the trail that they rode, so that would create a tourist destination just in itself for these riders to come back to Haines City just to ride that trail or route that they're whatever
it was
they
56
proper
miles of
terminology is.
bicycling, and Main Street organization that I'm the executive director of, we were the bike course marshals for that. So much fun, so much fun. But we guaranteed the Margarita Run going to be shorter, but just as much fun.
Well, tell us a little bit. Obviously, we're talking about the Margarita Run, and show us the artwork there, because you were talking about the kids division, and a child actually designed this for us, correct?
This artwork was done by Miguel Abal, and she is the stepdaughter of our city manager, Ken Sauer.
Okay.
And last year, before the end of the event, she came up to me and gave me a pencil drawing and said, here is next year's logo, and I gave it and kept it, and then this year all we had to do was just color it in. So and we even gave her credit on the side, saying, you know, artwork created by Miguel Abal, age 13. It's very cool.
It really is. It really is.
Tell us about some of the other events that the downtown area is either already putting on or in the process of putting on in the future as it continues to retool itself, if you will.
Well, once the library and City Hall are open, and they anticipate being in there the middle of November, as soon as the holidays are over with, then my organization, Haines City Main Street, we're going to be doing 3 events a month. One of them is going to be at lunchtime. Is going to be called Lunch on the Plaza, encouraging people to brown bag, come downtown to the Civic Plaza in front of the library and have a luncheon and listen to a street musician. And we're also going to have a monthly Friday night event. Again, encouraging people to come downtown, visit their downtown, eat downtown, and that, of course, is going to encourage more investors to come into the downtown and open stores.
Now that event, for people in Lakeland, First Friday, it's going to be like that, Bartow the Toe Jam, and some of the other communities, that type of event, right?
Music in the park.
Music in the park, right.
And ours is going to be on our Friday evening. It's going to be called, Rally in the Alley.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Ronnie, while we've got you for this little segment here, to the people that aren't familiar with exactly what Main Street Haines City is, what is the whole mission behind that for the
Great
people
question,
watching?
and I don't have enough time because I can go on and on and on and on. The Main Street program is a national program to revitalize small downtowns. It started in 1980 under the National Trust for Historic Preservation. Bartow is a Main Street city. Lake Wales is a Main Street city. Winter Haven,
and you were involved in Winter Haven, and it's fabulous.
And I was involved in Winter Haven
there
for almost 15 years. I was the
great
Main Street
downtown.
manager. So it's truly all focused on downtown revitalization, bringing the historic preservation is a strong element. It's economic development. It's special events like we're doing. It's very multifaceted.
Terrific.
Fantastic. Well, hey, this has been fun.
Well,
you got us going. Exciting guest right from the get-go.
And yes, and please come down, and I'll whether you join us for the walk or the run. I do have a margarita for you.
Oh boy, well, we still got a minute or so left. Let's once again let everybody know how they can get information on this and how to contact you.
You can register online by either going to our website, HainesCityMainStreet.com, and then just follow the Margarita Runs logo. Or you can go on active.com and also just search for Margarita Run. It's 2 weeks from tomorrow, September 8th. Starts at 5 o'clock, and the party goes until 8:30.
Wow. Well, Super duper.
Fantastic.
Thank you very much,
very
gentlemen.
Thank you. Good luck.
Bonnie, thanks for joining us.
We might be down there chasing some margaritas.
We'll be running or walking
I'm
for
already in
one or the
training.
other.
There you go. There you go.
Well, thanks so much for joining us. Well, we're going to go from running and walking to another great event, the United States Chung Do Kwan Association. And that event took place here, their national tournament. Check this segment out. Hey-ya!
This weekend's event, we had the Extreme Division is in Friday, the first thing that we start off with, and we had a really great turnout for that. I got first in my division, it was really fun. The Extreme Form is just what I love to do, the open hand forms. And then after that, we had the 13 and under division, and it's adorable to watch those guys compete. And we also had a lot of students in that as well. And then Saturday, this morning, we actually had our 14 and up, and we had traditional forms, sparring, and that was a blast. Great time, everyone did a really good job. And then Night of Champions, of course, is just what we really, build up to.
Started when I was 10. I've been doing it for 8 years now, so I'm 18. And I got my black belt when I was 14. And my grandpa actually started me when he wanted to start a hobby with all the kids. So he's taken me to all my classes, all my tournaments, and I've gotten to compete in different things with weapons, kamas, bow, open hand, nunchucks, and all across the country.
Well, my name is Senior Grandmaster Edward Sell, founding president of the United States Chung Do Kwan Association, one of the most unique martial arts institutions in the country. What I'd like to share with you is my 70th birthday wish table. Actually, it's a dream table. All these pictures came from 5,000 copies of my life. I put them all together. Each picture has a special meaning. We had it on display at this wonderful tournament that we had today. And I'd just like to show you a couple things. First of all, that's the white belt picture of myself. That's when I started my first school in Trenton, Michigan in 1967. The Air Force was a big part of my life, and the leadership training that the Air Force gave me is how I founded this association. I was in the Air Force for 8 years. My wife and I have been married for 39 years, and we're so pleased and blessed as a result of that. She's been my #1 helpmate in making this happen. And these pictures here show the office work that we did. I'm writing a textbook there.
I'm a first on black belt. I've been doing it for about 4 to 5 years. I performed in kamas at this event today, and I received Grand National Champion.
Today I got a senior instructor badge because I run a school.
And I love it. I have a school in Arbondale, TPF, and they're doing great too.
And I also got Extreme Kama National Champion, Grand Champion, which means that everybody who competed in Kama and got first place competed against each other no matter what division. And out of that, I got first.
The Extreme program is my favorite. In particular, I love doing the open hand forms, and the organization has really grown from that.
And then I also got first in the nation, which means that out of all the points that you get every time you place, you get a certain amount of points, and I got the most points.
In National Association logo is right here. My wife and I in Korea when I tested for my 9th degree black belt. This is the original logo in Seoul, Korea of Taekwondo Cheongdokwan system. So here's just a few of the exhibitions around the country that we performed at Fort Benning, Georgia, the Great Lakes Naval Academy, Germany, we're on tour there. So that's West Point Military Academy. I was invited to go there. The Marines, we were teaching at the Marine base. All of these are special pictures of various men rededicating their life to Christ. About being the highest ranked non-Oriental black belt in the world, I'm using this to open a lot of doors throughout the country and world. I'm going to continue my building of the ministry.
As an instructor, it's always very important to teach, my students integrity, make sure that we all, very good sportsmanship. We love to go out here and have fun and make sure that everyone's having a good time and being safe. We also want to, I always talk about form, power, speed. That's always been a big philosophy in our organization, and that just helps continue to make them better competitors and also better at doing the art itself. They just continue to grow in it, develop more. And so as an instructor, I really look to have my students reflect me as much as I can and then go above that. I don't want them to be stuck in a rut. I want them to continue to grow in every aspect of the art. And I'm very proud of them all. They all did a great job. Win or lose, compete or not, I love my kids, I love my school, so thank you.
Everyone, and welcome back to our second segment of Sports Central. Hank Longo along with Neil Duncan, and hey, this is going to be a fun segment, but before we get going, we got to thank our sponsor.
We'll see. I don't know. He's not very good. Hampton Inn in Winter Haven is our segment for the sponsor. He's over here already giving me the dirty look. We have a fun time with him.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Ledger, great sports columnist and one of our favorite guests here on Sports Central, Mr. Rick Brown in the house.
Hey, Hank, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Rick, I'm glad you could join me for this interview.
I'm so glad.
This is going to be fun. I'm glad we have about 8 or 10 minutes to talk to each other.
Yes,
let's
do this,
great conversation.
I can get up and leave.
Thank you, Neil. We'd appreciate
that. Yes, Neil. Yeah. Nice seeing you again.
I can get out and walk out. You can throw me out like they did Raheem Morris last year with the Bucks.
Hey, you catch the same plane to D.C. if you want to.
Yes.
All right?
Oh, boy. Hey,
what's going
Rick.
on, guys?
Hey, just great having you on the show. And, of course, we're getting ready for football season. It's already kicked in with some preseason games. And
Definitely. It's that time of year. I mean, from high school to colleges kicks off, and now the NFL. I mean, this is the time of the year, guys. This is my time of year.
Of course, Rick Brown covering the Bucks for the Ledger, and you've been over training camp and watched them get ready for the season. New sheriff in town, Greg Schiano, head coach of the Bucks. Of course, Raheem Morris fired last year. Really kind of got a raw deal. Really didn't get an opportunity to do the things that he needed to do. But now they got Schiano. Kind of a surprise hire. Were you surprised by the hire?
I was, because he was in the background. No one knew that they were even thinking about him. And he came up, but I think it's a great hire because of the job he did at Rutgers. I mean, he brought Rutgers from a no-name team to being
Rutgers,
to being relevant in college football, and that's something, and especially in Division I with all the powers in Division I.
Right.
And what he's trying to instill in Tampa Bay is the discipline, is doing everything the right way the first time, so far during training camp, everyone's buying in, and it's pretty good.
Rick, when you come from a college, though, a university, playing college ball, coming into the NFL. Yeah. I mean, you know, Spurrier, great in Florida, you know, and then went to Washington and just, you know, it's tough. What is he having to face from that same type of transition?
Well, when you change from college to the pros, you lose almost a little bit of your power, because when you're a college coach, you control everything. You control their scholarships. That's the big thing. You can say, okay, if you're not going to do the job, we'll just take your scholarship and give it to someone else. So you have a certain amount of control over the kids. Now, these are people with families. They have their own children. You're talking to grown men now. And so you can't scare them, per se, with the scholarships. I mean, you can scare them with their job, but a lot of these big money players have job security. Mm-hmm. So that's not the thing. What he has to do is establish a trust. And you start that by establishing the trust with the top players, the Josh Freemans, the quarterbacks, the Rondé Barbers, the old vets, the offensive line, Davin Josephs, Donald Penns. And you hope it trickles down to the rest of the team. And you think if the team sees their leaders doing the top job, doing the job, busting it, working, getting there on time, studying, then it will trickle down and everyone will start doing it. And so far, that looks to be the case.
Certainly, when you talk about a football team, you always seem to start with the quarterback. And Freeman has come in about 20 or 25 pounds lighter, looking really good in the first few games. So I'll ask you to talk about him for a second, and then let's bring it back to Polk County. Ahmad Black is getting some PT there for the Bucks. Of course, last year was drafted and they got hurt in the preseason, so ended up on the practice squad. We didn't see much. So talk to us a little bit about Josh Freeman and then Ahmad Black from Polk County.
Josh Freeman's the key this year. You're right, he did come into camp 20 pounds lighter, and he's picking up the offense. I mean, he had all of the offseason, something they didn't have last year, and that has helped. He's really getting a bond with his receivers, Vincent Jackson, who's new, Taquan Underwood, a guy from Rutgers, who has come on and has really provided a spark to them. Josh seems to be getting more and more comfortable in the offense, and that's going to be key this year. As far as Ahmad is doing what he did at Lakeland and what he did at Florida. Mm-hmm. He's a kid who's not the biggest, not the fastest, but he has this knack for being around the ball all the time. And in one of the preseason games, he got an interception, his first in the NFL, and almost took it to the house. Mm-hmm. But he's been doing that throughout camp, and you can see the confidence growing in him. He's had an off-season to learn the playbook, off-season to work with the guys. And he's getting his swag back a little bit. And you can see it. And when he's confident, he plays very well.
Well, and he didn't have a chance last offseason because of the lockout. So that from college to the training camp, that off-season stuff is huge, isn't it?
It is, because that's where you get not only to learn the plays, but you get to actually do it on the fields through walkthroughs and the OTAs and the mini camps. And that is, those are 14, 15 days that's invaluable.
You get to get in the environment of your team.
Right.
Exactly.
You got to get that trust.
Comfortable, and you start to get those jitters out, and you can just relax and be you.
Right. And what he was trying to prove himself last year, that, I was a 5th-round pick, but I can play this game.
Right.
And the injury and the lockout really hurt him. This year, he's getting more comfortable, and you can see him, and he still has that smile that he's always had, and everyone just loves him, and he's producing on the field so far.
What do you think we're going to do for wins and losses this year? Do you have a feel? You got to start to watch him play a little bit to get
real
a feel.
Tough schedule. Yeah. Real tough schedule. They have the NFC East, which is always a battle, and their division, the NFC South, is tough. I mean, geez. Every year you got to go against Atlanta. You have to go against Drew Brees in New Orleans, and of course Superman Cam in Carolina. Wow, wins and losses. I mean, over and under right now, it has to be 6.5, 7. If they do better than that, Schiano's first year, I think is a win.
So you think an 8-8 season is just beyond that would be perfect?
I think it would, although they're thinking why put a ceiling on it?
Right.
Why? I mean, Rondé Barber said, I came back for my 16th year because these guys want to win now.
Right.
And, I mean, in the NFL, you can do that. I mean, look at San Francisco the year before. I mean, 2 years ago, they were just like the Bucs were last year.
Right.
And they came back and made it to the NFC Championship. So it's possible. You have to get off to a great start, though. I don't know if they can because they have Carolina at the Giants at Dallas, and then they have this team up in D.C. that's coming down.
Well, before we talk about them, because we know you can't leave here without talking about them, but oh no, he's going to do it already.
Folks, here it comes.
This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. All right,
It was quick. It was just quick.
We'll talk about the Redskins in just a second.
Okay.
But wow, I don't even know what I was going to say now. He said that. But do you see Ahmad making the team?
Yes.
Okay. I feel like that's certain. But do you see him playing?
Yes. You know, what they've been working with him in the preseason is doing their nickel and dime packages. He'll come in as safety. They'll move Rondé down to the slot, or they actually have 3 safeties on the field at the time. And Ahmad's playing his free safety role, roaming over and looking for picks and hits, and he can do that very well.
So in that free safety position, for the folks watching that might not know, he's just roaming around following the ball.
Yeah, in certain defenses, he has a certain area to cover.
Coverage area.
And he'll be doing a lot of things. He'll be coming down, he'll be blitzing, but usually they just kind of roam around. They have a specific assignment, but once that ball is released, go.
You've got to pay attention to the ball.
And he can do that.
Running backs, how do you think we're going to do this year with running backs?
You know, with the addition of Doug Martin, he was the second first-round pick. Every time Doug gets the ball in his hands, he's excited because he's just a scat back. He just zips, and he's fast. Add him with LeGarrette Blount. I think if they stay healthy, and that's the key, especially with Blount, if they stay healthy, they have a nice 1-2 combo back there, which you need in the NFL. I mean, you have some power, you have some speed.
Right. Well,
I think they could be good.
The NFL has gone away from the one back.
Yes.
It's running back by committee.
It has to be.
And it has to be because of the wear and tear that they take. But you're right about Martin. He can take it to the house anytime he touches the ball.
He's exciting to watch, and if people haven't seen him really perform, you have to. Number 22, when he gets the ball in his hands, you get excited. You do. And I tell you, every time he touches the ball, I kind of move up just to see what was new he's going to do, because it's something.
Well, on the flip side of excitement, tell us a little bit about the Washington Redskins.
RG3.
Actually, it is. It's going to be. What do you think he's going to do? I mean, they obviously.
I think he's going to struggle. His rookie year.
Right.
You know, but he has something. I mean, just like Schiano did at Rutgers, this kid helped establish Baylor as something prominent.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it's going to take a while, 2-3 years, but I think this kid is something. I think he is a franchise quarterback.
Well, he's an excellent passer.
Yes, he is.
You know, and that's, you know, when you look at Tebow's a good runner, they don't really rate his passing that great, you know.
Tebow, who's that?
But then you've got this kid that runs the ball so well as can throw it. And I would think the one thing with him is that he doesn't get hurt running the ball.
And he's really not a runner. I mean, he can run, but he likes to be in the pocket, and he likes slinging the ball downfield. And they've picked up a couple of receivers to help do that. So that game, September 30th at Raymond James Stadium, the return of Raheem Morris, who's the defensive backs coach there, it's going to be electric at Raymond James on September 30th.
Yeah, all 10,000 people will be cheering loud.
10,001, including me.
Okay.
We could go on and on all afternoon talking about it, but we've come to the end of our segment. Thank you so much for joining us. Rick Brown from the Ledger, and you do such a great job. And
real quick, give us the Facebook and the Twitter, because I know that you do some tweeting and stuff from the sidelines when you're covering the Bucs. What are those?
Twitter, you can find me at RickBrown91 and at Ledger on Bucs, LEDGER on Bucs. And that's for all my Bucs coverage. At Rick Brown 91 is just me talking about you.
We're going to end on that. Yeah, we're going to make sure we're following that. Rick, it's always fun having you on the show. Thanks for joining us.
I appreciate
you taking time out of your busy schedule. Well, we've got another neat segment for you coming up. The Florida Youth Soccer Association College Showcase. Some great soccer. Check this out. We'll be back.
We're here at Auburndale today with the 3rd annual Girls Elite Central Florida Showcase hosted by Soccer Showcase Unlimited. Soccer Showcase Limited was established in 2010, and basically it's just a company that we created in order for us to be able to expose female players to play at the next level in the collegiate.
We were brought out here today to watch the girls play in the Showcase, which is a great event hosted by Leon and Soccer Locker. It's participants from all over the state in many different areas, and they come together to play kind of a 2-day event, but they just get to showcase their talents in front of lots of college coaches that might not normally get to see them just because of the schedules that they play or that our seasons are starting. So it's a great event late in the summer where it's kind of our last recruiting event before we actually kick off.
I played for Rush these past couple years, and then I just joined FC America. Well, you get to meet new people. I like that, and play like on this team. There's a lot of girls from FC America, so it's a kind of a bonding experience before the season because I'm new.
Players are invited from all over the state of Florida. This year we were fortunate enough to have 3 kids from the Jamaican U17 national team. All of these players are recommended by club directors, club coaches, and college coaches. So we try to bring in the highest talent possible in order for us to have a good event and bring in some good college scouts. A lot of the colleges from the event are mostly from Florida. We have Florida here, University of South Florida, University of Central Florida, Florida Gulf Coast University, FIU, Tampa, St. Leo, Johnson and Wales. So we have a good variety of schools for all the kids to be looked at. Top Division I schools, Division II schools, and NAIA schools.
I've played on the Florida team for the state team for 3 years, and then last year I was on the Region 3 team, and with that team we traveled to Germany and played like some foreign teams.
And there's possibilities of scholarship, there's possibilities of roster positions, and it's a great event for the girls to really showcase their talents to us.
These players players are high school level players. They are rising seniors, juniors, and sophomores. So graduating kids in 2013, which is next year, 2014, which are rising juniors, and 2015, which are rising sophomores. I think this is a great facility. I think we partnered up with FYSA in order for us to be able to host the event. The facilities are great. It's very convenient for players and coaches because of the central location. You know, we use both of these fields here where we can go ahead and have both college coaches watch both games at a time, or maybe have an assistant watch one game and they can watch the other one. But I think it's a great facility, centralized facility, and it's easy for everyone to get to.
Everyone, and welcome back to our third segment of Sports Central. Hank Longo along with Neil Duncan, and this segment is brought to us by
Harry's Old Place right there in Winter Haven. A fantastic place to go and have a dining experience. If you haven't been there, go check them out.
It's great. Kind of live right by Harry's Old Place. And
no, don't hold that against them.
Don't hold that against me. It's great. Harry's, you rock. Anyhow, we have a great third segment and a unique sport we're going to talk about that's becoming a big hit now in the United States with Marty Ward, the Florida Southern head coach of lacrosse there at the college, and thanks for joining us, Marty.
Well, thanks for having me, guys.
And going to talk about lacrosse here, and
yeah, well, it's some interesting stuff.
Here.
Let's go ahead and talk about Florida Southern, the program first, and how it all got started. And then there's some interesting stories that you got for us that something that recently happened. But tell us about the 2012 season. And lacrosse has only been a sport at Florida Southern for how long now?
This is going into our fifth year.
Fifth year, okay.
Yeah.
How was 2012, and what's 2013 look like?
Well, 2012 was a good year. I think it was a very competitive season for us. You know, we made it back to the conference tournament championship. For the second year. It was my second year as head coach with the program. You know, it was a good year for us. We had 7 all-conference guys, 3 all-tournament players. You know, we're really 4 goals away from being 14-2 last year. You know, it's 10-6. The record says 10-6, but we're 4 goals away from being 14-2. So to start, you know, this fall, the way we're going to start this fall, fresh, new assistant coaching staff that we hired this summer. You know, I think it's going to be a very good welcome change to the program, as well as a welcome change to the Florida Southern Athletic Department as well. Kind of bring a little bit different attitude to what we're trying to do. You know, 2012 was great. I mean, I can't. We had some good seniors. We had a lot of leadership on the team. But, you know, I think 2013 holds a big bright spot for us. We got a younger team, very junior dominated and sophomore dominated. So only five seniors on the team this year, so we're pretty young.
Lacrosse is really a game that's been big in the East for a long time now, and now it's, you know, becoming a really expanding popular sport. Where are you finding your players that you're recruiting?
We're having a lot of success, you know, in the Mid-Atlantic, the northeastern area. You know, I just got off the phone with a mother from Buffalo, New York, Niagara Falls, New York. You know, we're recruiting all the way out western New York. You know, the farthest American player that we have on our team this year is actually a freshman from Portland, Oregon, defenseman from all the way out in the Northwest.
Wow.
We have 6 Canadian players on our team this year, from all the way from Vancouver, British Columbia to Cochrane, Alberta. So we're pretty much all over the map. But we're having a lot of success in the New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania areas. We're getting into Philadelphia, a lot more recruiting now. There's a lot of good lacrosse being played there. You know, Long Island has always been a hotbed, upstate New York. where I was born and raised, as well as a hotbed of lacrosse. So we seem to have a lot of success up in that area. A lot of those guys want to come down to Florida.
Well, I was just getting ready to say gorgeous college setting. And,
well, that's what I was getting ready to say. There certainly could be worse jobs to have as far as recruiting to a school. Florida Southern just recently, I think, ranked the most beautiful campus yet again, second year in a row, and then of course our weather. So. Not to mention, you don't even get into the education part of what Florida Southern has to offer.
No,
so, how do you use that to your advantage? I mean, obviously, that's part of your sales. You've got to sell the parents to get the kids.
I think we're going after the right kind of student athlete now. For the first couple years, it was kind of a feeler out period. Mm-hmm. Just getting numbers into the doors, trying to figure out what we could do. Now we're going to be a little bit more selective with who we bring in. We're just not going to email a ton of kids and say, come down and play lacrosse at Florida Southern.
Right.
Now we're reaching out to our select kind of guys that meet our academic criteria. We want every freshman that comes in to receive academic scholarships.
You want them to graduate.
And we want them to stay 4 years, get a great education, and become productive members of society. That's our big thing,
right.
And so we're trying to find the Florida Southern guys now. And I think we're developing that culture. We're developing that kind of mentality where we want the academic student athlete here and playing lacrosse at Florida Southern.
Well, we were talking, before this segment came on, and we found what you did over the summer here. I'll let Neil take this one because kind of fun just in the conversation that we had that he was really getting involved with.
Well, yeah. Tell us a little about you were involved with the U19 World Championships in Finland.
Yes.
Now I won't say the city because of the area. But what was
Turku.
Yeah. What he said.
Get a tongue roll.
But in Finland, that was in July of this year. Yeah. And tell us about that experience. And you weren't with the U.S. team.
No.
Tell us about that. You can tell it better than I certainly can ask it.
Well, being a part of the Iroquois National U19 team this year, I played on the men's team in 2006 and 2010. The Iroquois National team is the only indigenous team, sovereign country to play in international competition. So we're the only one in the world with indigenous Native Americans playing against international competition. So it's a very prestigious honor to be a part of that, and it's very exclusive, obviously, if you can say. But the experience of going over to Finland was tremendous.
Oh, I can imagine.
And, with our sponsorship with Nike was tremendous. They helped us out tremendously with that. We stayed in the best hotels. We ate great meals, team dinners. It was a fantastic experience for us to go to Northern Europe and actually experience that and play and participate and coach, in such an event,
Now, a couple of questions. Is lacrosse that popular over in Finland and Europe?
It's getting there. It's getting there. I know a lot of guys that have lived in the Czech Republic and have lived in Germany for years, and they've been developing programs and trying to get more and more kids playing the game at a younger age. And it's funny because Finland they're not too bad. You go over there and you see these guys playing lacrosse, and they're playing at a semi-high level, not the same level as our Iroquois national team, Team USA or Canada, but they're there.
And let's talk about the Iroquois national team, because this was a great statistic that you shared with us. How many kids could try out for the U.S. lacrosse team?
I believe they have about 110,000 U19 active players that could try out for the team.
And then the Iroquois?
We pull from a pool of about 75.
And that's it. And you won.
And you guys defeated the U.S. for the bronze medal, correct?
Well, in round-robin play. We beat them in the last game of round-robin play, and we defeated England 18-1 in the bronze medal game.
England, yes. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
All right. Well, real quick, and a great segment. That's a great story.
Flying by.
Maybe we'll have you hang around so you can tell us more about it. But tell us a little bit about how people get information about lacrosse in the Polk County area or the Florida Southern program.
Well, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to fscmox.com. That's where you're going to find a lot of the information about our men's lacrosse program and what we're doing at Florida Southern with the lacrosse program, the men's and women's programs there, as well as we're just beginning a club team in Polk County, Tropics Lacrosse. Lakeland Tropics actually play each Sunday in the Shooters League in Clearwater Beach. We have a middle school team and a high school team participating, and we'll be bringing a couple high school teams to a couple tournaments throughout the Florida area this fall. So we're trying to get the game going in Polk County. It's going to be good.
Great. Well, Marty, fun. Flew by. Thanks so much for joining us, and wishing you a great season in 2013. And we're going to go to our local update now with Polk County Tourism and Sports Marketing own Jessica Roberts. So check out this segment with Jessica.
Welcome to Local Update. I'm Jessica Roberts, here to tell you about some great upcoming events taking place across Polk County this month. The Polk Theater will present Moonrise Kingdom, starring Edward Norton, Bruce Willis, and Bill Murray, on August 24th, 25th, and 26th. Tickets are available at the door. Adults are $7 and students are $5. This movie is rated PG-13. Bring the entire family to Movies on the Lawn on August 24th in Bartow. Bring your blankets, lawn chairs, and insect repellent, and be sure to arrive before dark. The movie is shown at the corner of Wilson Avenue and Main Street. Explorations 5 Children's Museum will host its birthday extravaganza on August 25th. The party will celebrate 21 years of hands-on learning at the museum and the opening of the newest exhibit, Go Green, which educates children and their families on the importance of recycling. The event will feature fun, creative, hands-on activities designed to promote the recycling concept. Museum visitors are encouraged to attend the event wearing green to add to the fun. Enjoy a historic Lake Mere walking tour on August 28th in downtown Lakeland. The story begins during the horse and buggy days, when people hitch their horses up at Munn Park while visiting downtown. The free tours are limited to the first 25 people, and reservations can be made through the Lake Mere rental office. Music and Martinis, the Imperial Symphony Orchestra's annual fundraising event, will be held on August 28th at the Lakeland Center. Guests can sample martinis from several local bars and restaurants, and then vote for their favorites. The symphony will play a short program of popular movie themes, including Raiders of the Lost Ark and Titanic. The Florida State Steel Challenge Championship will be held at Universal Shooting Academy in Frostproof on September 1st and 2nd. The event tests shooters' abilities of speed and accuracy, and will have over 300 people participating in the competition. Dirty Foot Adventures will host an adventure and obstacle run on September 8th in Fort Meade. This is a 6-mile course with 30 obstacles, and the course is wooded rather than just an open pasture. Trophies will be awarded for best costume, largest team, and overall winners. Register at dirtyfootadventurerun.com. Disney on Ice presents Rockin' Ever After at the Lakeland Center on August 31st and September 1st. Get ready to rock out with some of the most magical idols of all in a musical showcase that features the hottest tunes and talents from across the kingdom. Tickets begin at just $15 and can be purchased through the Lakeland Center box office. Downtown Lakeland will host First Friday on September 7th, and the theme will be Dog Days of Summer. You and your dog can join the Pooch Parade or compete in a costume contest and compete for prizes. Local animal rescue organizations will be on hand with dogs of all shapes and sizes in need of good homes. Enjoy live music, lots of great restaurants, and do a little shopping. First Friday begins at 6. The Bartow Antiques Fair will take place along Main Street in downtown Bartow on September 8th. Come see what treasures and history you can find in the antique dealers' collections. The event is free and begins at 8 a.m. Bach Tower Gardens goes to the dogs for a day of canine festivities on September 8th. Bach Tower Gardens Dog Day of Summer features contests and information on grooming, health, adoption, and safety. Dog admission includes a doggy gift bag. Adults are $12 and dogs are $5. Haines City Main Street will host their Margarita Run on September 8th. The evening 5K run and 1-mile walk begins at 5 and finishes with a festive sunset party complete with food, live music, and margaritas. Early registration ends on September 3rd. Well, folks, this has been a quick glance at some exciting events taking place across Polk County this month. For details about these events and more, go to visitcentralflorida.org and centralfloridasports.com. Until next time, I'm Jessica Roberts from Polk County's Tourism and Sports Marketing Office, and I look forward to seeing you at some of these great events.
Hello everyone, and welcome to our fourth segment of Sports Central. Hank Long along with Neil Duncan, and hey, don't forget to bring your chair and a blanket.
Bring your blanket, because it might be cold out there, or the grass might be wet. So Jessica always reminding us for the important things in life, bring your blanket to the event.
Bring your blanket to the event. Well, hey, we've had a fun show, and it continues here on our fourth segment. We have our special guest, Ashley Link, the Public Relations and Marketing Manager at Lakeland Regional Medical Center.
That's right.
And we also have Dr. Francis Martin, the urologic oncologist at Lakeland Regional Cancer Center.
That's right, too.
Well done, sir. Well done.
Got that one. Thank you very much. It's been a great show. We got through that. I don't know how much. Well, hey, thank you for joining us, and got some fun, healthy things to talk about this segment.
Yeah, you guys have an event coming up pretty soon. Tee It Up for Men's Health, right? Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, September is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month, and we were kind of charged with developing a program for education and community service, and we thought, why just focus on prostate cancer? Let's focus on men's health in general. So Ashley can kind of tell you how we've organized something for the community.
Yeah.
On September 15th, we'll have Tee It Up for Men's Health, and it will be held at Cleveland Heights Golf Course on Buckingham Avenue in Lakeland. And if the men come out for the health fair's first, and they'll get a free breakfast and 18 holes of golf for free. So they'll get to learn from our fabulous oncologist and then head out for 18 holes of golf on us.
So trying to get them to come to you knew where to go get them, right?
That's right.
You headed to the
That's
golf
right.
course.
We head to the golf course.
You know, and I was just reading in my Men's Health magazine this week how important it is for men to have regular checkups, because a lot of, I mean, I do religiously just because I've got a great doctor that insists that I do that, you know, but as you get older, it is really important that you see your doctor.
Well, that's why we've also put this together with an activity like golf, so that it will attract younger men, so we can get them to start thinking about skin cancer screening, as well as their weight and health and eating. We'll have the dietitians there that can help you develop a diet or a program for better eating and a healthy lifestyle. We'll have people there talking about smoking cessation, in addition to the cancer doctors talking about prostate cancer, kidney cancers. It's an overall positive event just to make people better informed about what's out there.
Right. Early detection obviously is the most important thing. And if they're not able to attend this, what can they do to make sure that they're on the right course? If it's not this event, another event, because I know you guys are offering stuff all the time.
Correct. We do have education in the communities with different talks. We work through different organizations to try to teach about prostate cancer in general, as well as sit down specifically to talk to people about treatment options for them. If they're diagnosed with a certain type of cancer, they can always come into the cancer center and make an appointment to just talk to us, or we have some nutritionists and counseling. So
fantastic.
And with prostate cancer, I mean, is there anything you can do to prevent it? I mean, as you talk about diets and things like that, or is it just if it's your luck of the draw that you happen to get it and then you have to deal with it?
Well, there are no known preventative factors really for preventing prostate cancer. It is associated with some genetic changes that you don't have any control over. So to me, early detection and screening is very important. That's a very controversial topic, though, because the U.S. Preventative Task Force has just said that we shouldn't do PSA screening, which is the blood test for prostate cancer. But I think it's very important that people talk to their doctor anyway and make an informed consent about whether they should have screening or not. The AUA, which is the kind of governing body for urologists, recommends any man with a life expectancy over 10 years, they should have this screening test, and then talk about whether you need to undergo a biopsy to even diagnose it. So there's nothing you can do to prevent it other than a normal, healthy lifestyle that's active with a good diet.
Well, and we talked about some of the events that Lakeland Regional Medical Center offers, but what are some of the websites, or what are some of the the reach out programs that you guys offer that people can, some of that information, that phone numbers, websites that we can get out there?
You can go to lrmc.com, stands for Lakeland Regional Medical Center, lrmc.com, and there's information about our cancer center, about our oncologists on the website, telephone number so you can schedule an appointment. But as far as Tee It Up for Men's Health, you can call 687-1400 to register for that event to get all of this great educational information and participate in the golf event.
Boy, you can't beat golf, breakfast,
Yeah, right?
for free, and learn something good that a lot of people don't take the time to do.
That's
well,
right.
and I was going to, and correct me if I'm wrong at all on this, but I think for a long time, Lakeland Regional was known as the Heart Center. It was very much a place that you could go for good heart health care. They still have that. You guys still have that, but you guys are offering so many more things now and have the best. You don't have to go to Tampa. You don't have to go to Orlando. You can get it right here. And
right.
for that care, that cancer care, that's important because you're not going as far, correct?
Well, I always brag about our cancer center being a jewel in Lakeland because all of the physicians there and the nursing staff have all trained at the top-notch places in the country.
Right.
And we actually, in urology, in the urologic oncology department, have the biggest department in the state of Florida of oncologists who were trained at MD Anderson, who were trained at Duke, so at the top fellowships in the country. So, and that extends even to our medical oncologists, our GYN oncologists. So it's like I said, it's a little diamond in the rough that people don't know what resources they have in this community. So.
Yeah, and if you are stricken with the disease, that not having to drive as far, because usually there's a caregiver, caretaker, somebody who's helping you through that process, being closer to home, that's key, isn't it?
It is. I think it helps people in recovery and having a social support network. But all of our services are also offered under one roof.
Right.
We do have a multidisciplinary approach. Some cancers do need a medical oncologist, a radiation oncologist, and a surgeon, and we're all in one place. You come to one place to see all those doctors.
Well, we have run out of time. I'm getting the signal, so we're going to have to. This is great information, too. We wish we could just keep going on with this. Ashley, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Dr.
Great
Francis, thank you so much for joining us, Dr. Francis Martin. And we want to welcome everybody to find out more about what's going on in Polk County at centralfloridasports.com. And our next live show will be September 7th, but you can watch the show at these other times that we're going to flash up on the screen for you.
I want to thank some of our sponsors who made the show possible.
For Hank Longo and Neil Duncan, thanks for joining us on Sports Central, and we'll see you again next time.